Hey everybody, this is Claire, and this is Small Joyful Things. As always, I go out to thrift stores and I get things from Craigslist, and to be honest, I'm just looking for things that either personally appeal to me, or that I just find interesting, or that I think will tell me a story, and then I try to find out as much as I can about them, and then tell you guys about them. So here's what I've got today. So, weird flowery implement of torture or something far more mundane. This is a cake server, a cake knife. You take it, you whang it through a cake, and cut yourself a slice, and then you lift it up. Normally, obviously, you see these made out of metal. You see it in, stainless steel, or, the older ones would be in silver or whatever. And this one, though, is made out of ceramic. And this is hand-painted ceramic. The base has been left, like the top has been glazed, the base has been left raw. And you can see we've got a mark here, it says Dorotea. And very nice, very cute. I bought this for $1.70 because I picked it up and I held it like this, and I thought this is probably the most satisfying cake server in the entire world. There's something about the handle and the way that it, the shape of it, the way that it curves out like that. I kind of thought, you know what, this must be just the most lovely cake server to have with, like, if you're having cake for like afternoon tea or something else kind of fancy, this is the one that you want. So let's measure it up real quick. It is quite long, 11.5 inches long. And about 4 inches across. And I'm going to make my best effort to, I'm going to just say it's about probably an inch high. I'm not going to do much more than that because, butterfingers here and constant danger of dropping things. Okay, so what exactly have we got here? Is it vintage? Nope, it is not. This was actually sold by Anthropology. Anthropology does that. I've seen, I sometimes see their mugs or everything. They do like a lot of kind of very nice kind of high-end ceramics, and this just happens to be one of them. And Dorotea refers to a particular line that they have, and it's possible that it was sold by people, like by shops other than Dorotea, because I can see some listings for it on Amazon. I'm just gonna grab the internet's real fast. If you just look for straight up Anthropology Dorotea, you just get a lot of kind of a lot of weird results, one of which obviously is our server right here. But you also see like shirts and like shoes, and I gotta assume that it's just kind of part of this kind of cottage or peasant aesthetic that they've got going on, because that's kind of been a bigger thing in maybe in the last 10 years, that kind of farmhouse chic or whatever you want to call it, and this is definitely be a part of that. I don't know, personally, I think it would have been nicer if they weren't quite so busy with it, but well, some people like that. They did the same cake server in a few different patterns. I can't quite figure out what the name of this one is. That's probably going to take some research. But anyway, if you actually want to find out more about Dorotea themselves, we have here Dorotea ceramics, most of which are sold out. Yep. If you take a look at the about. Handmade ceramics. Each piece is completely handmade, unique, slight perfections, blah blah blah. Dorotea is a collection of nature-inspired ceramic products made by the artist Carolina Silva, Spanish artist, very much into her flowers, I have to say. A lot of it is a little bit, it looks maybe a little bit like this, or a little bit rough, I would say. Definitely has that kind of like, here's something kind of, kind of rough hewn, is kind of calling back to that whole, like, the rural kind of farmhousey thing. I have to say that much as I kind of like this, and I think it's probably going to be very fascinating and very satisfying to use, I'm probably going to sell it on eBay, because I just don't eat a lot of cake. And I can't imagine that I will be eating enough cake to warrant using this on a regular basis, especially when I'm generally the kind of person who, when faced with cake, just kind of gets a random knife, any knife, and just chop a slice out of that sucker and get it on a plate as fast as possible. There's none of this kind of, you know, enjoying the experience of actually using something like this, like a cake server. I'm, you know, not that kind of person. I literally just go for cake, and it's just like, hey, there's cake. Let's get a knife and get it into, you know, get it into our mouths as fast as possible. So I think this is probably it'll be best sold to someone who will use it for its intended purpose, which is not only to be a nice usable little cake server, but also to have a certain style and look as it does so. So this is probably a fairly short video for today. Modern objects generally don't have a whole lot of history to them, so there's not really a whole lot you can say about them, other than the fact that this is just very stylish and quite fun to hold and to use, and kind of, you know, it does make you feel fancy. Okay, have to do an addendum to this because I'm an idiot. I never told you guys what this is actually worth. I forget my own head if it wasn't nailed on. All right, so what I was going to say, and I completely forgot to say in the end of the video, I have no idea what this would have sold for originally. God knows I haven't been able to find a price in it. Considering that it's anthropology and a lot of the sets kind of seem to be very expensive, I wouldn't be surprised if it was going to, you know, $30 or $40 just for this. The interesting thing is that you can see a few of them on eBay. Not a whole lot, unfortunately. If you just look for Dorotea cake server, you can see that there's almost nothing. And we do have 3 here, and you can see, you know, $15 to $25, you know, 15 to $22, that kind of amount of money for it. And I did actually check to see, do we have any sold comps? And we actually do, $18. So I'm thinking $15 to $20 is about what you spend for it now, which I have to say, that's pretty expensive for a modern cake server. Considering that, you know, if you want a particularly nice one, you could probably walk into a thrift store like I do and buy one for $1.70. So, yeah, I'm an idiot. Sorry guys, thank you for watching. Bye bye.